Howdy, lieutenants and economists.
The most volatile, evil, disgusting things on the planet, humans. If you have a video request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com.
Yeah, I am gonna charge you, kids. And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You are such an asshole!
Assholeconsulting.com. Go there if you want the truth. You go any other place if you want lies and deceits and touchy feel-good deceit. We have an interesting request. It's come from a woman, and we'll just leave it at that. Hey, Mr. Asshole, I watched several of your videos, and while I don't agree with everything, I'm a fan. You've given a lot of advice, to young men about marriage. I'd like to hear some for girls. I'm an ex-feminist who somehow managed to land at this point a 15-year marriage, only husband. I have 2 daughters entering into their preteens. They are beautiful and smart. Having looked at my life, I realized that being married and a mother has been the happiest period of my life. Oh my gosh, don't tell the... That's why I didn't mention your name, because they'd try to get you fired, and we all need the crabs in the bucket. I feel that being married would be happiness for them too. To that end, I've been telling them forever about the evils of feminism and avoiding single motherhood. I've tried to set a good example of respecting their dad. Is there anything more I could do to impress on them the necessity of respecting men, wisely choosing a good mate, and being a safe bet for marriage should they choose that lifestyle? Okay, so I had to sit down and kind of put this together because she is right. We do kind of focus on the boys. And frankly, it's because most of the women are not receptive to especially young women. They'll read Vogue or Salon or whatever Miley Ray Cyrus is doing. But here's what you could do if you're a mother or father, just a loved one, or you happen to be a girl yourself, all right? And you're kind of wondering, well, what? I want to settle down. There's something wrong. I smell something fishy in the air with all this feminist leftist stuff. So, all right, one, you can't guarantee that they're going to be married or become mothers. They may just not want that. They may not like the idea of marriage. There may be too many pussified men, too many pajama boys, not enough old Steve McQueens. And they may not want to be mothers. They may look at it like I do and say, whoa, why would I bring a child into this world with all this debt? Are you crazy? So, you don't have to harp on it, and I'll get to it later, but just, just realize in the end, these are separate people. I mean, they are your children, but they are separate, sentient individuals with their own minds, and they will, plenty of years out, but they'll do it if they want, and I think you've probably made your case to them. All right. Related, second thing, don't overdo it. All right. If you tell a kid no enough times, guess what? They're going to want to do it. That's kind of the same thing. Like in my case, it was religion. They tried to beat religion into me. You don't want to beat anti-feminism. You don't want to go, sooner be, yes, mom, Jesus Christ, all right, Jesus. Hey, Amy, you would be funny as we go become lesbians and shave our head and tat ourselves up just to piss off mom. If you've made your point clearly, if you've made your point, understood, and they know, they're going to get a little bit older, they're hitting puberty, so they probably have questions about boys, maybe a little bit, but don't be overbearing about it because you're going to drive them the other way, right? So if you're going to, and I'm 100%, see, there's one thing I really like about, this is true love, I wish more parents would do that, is you actually take the time to sit your kids down and explain things to them. Most parents, fuck them, ship them off to daycare. There were, again, if I had a kid, there would be lessons. I'd always have lessons, financial lessons, dating lessons, morality lessons, economics lessons, work ethic lessons. We'd be having lessons so that the kids would know how to go and lead their life, what they could expect. Most spit out the kids, don't give a crap, ship them off to daycare. I do whatever you want. That's what teachers are for. I'm not here to raise you. So you are showing way more interest than the average mother. But again, don't overdo it. So I would choose your lessons very wisely. Make sure you convey the important ones, but don't nag. Don't fucking nag. Like my mom. Of course, women never change. I'm 40 years old. Do you want to take this home? No, Mom, I can't eat cookies anymore. I'm getting to it. Are you sure they're really good? They're your favorite. I'm like, Mom, it's not that I don't want them. It's just that, well, take at least a vat. It's like, fuck, Mom. Don't want the fucking cookies. It's not exactly June and Ward Cleaver world. Anyway, so you don't want to get them so agitated. So don't nag them. Just have important lessons. I think we should do that. Now, to cement, and I'll have another recommendation much later on, the last point actually, to cement the idea that feminism is not a good thing, I would simply show them feminists. I would show them videos of Femen, that Femen, that's that group that's rioting and protesting naked in Europe. Also, there's a group of those Femen protesters down, I think it was in Argentina, where they're spitting. These young men, they're Catholic men, and they're guarding their cathedral because the feminists were going to come in and destroy the place. And they're guarding the place, and they won't attack because they're Christians and they're turning the other cheek, which, don't get me started. These women are spitting at them. There's also that picture of the feminists that are like beating this pope, or not pope, bishop, priest, something like that, and he's just being very patient, praying. You can look up slut walks, fat acceptance, look up feminist women's studies professors, show these young girls, say, is this feminine? Do you want to become this? Right? And then show them pretty women, show them, and it doesn't have to be, please don't make it the Kardashians, don't go the other, but classical traditional women. If you have to, go back to the days of Audrey Hepburn, Sophia Loren, because I guess that's the last time we've ever seen some real classy traditional women, and say, what do you want to be? Do you want to be like Grace Kelly, or do you want to be like Andrea Dworkin? Which one do you want to be? And then I also ask, who looks happier? Who do you think is happier? Who do you think is more fulfilled? The married wife down the road with the happy kids playing, or I don't know, the Jessica Valentis of the world who are angry and doing whatever it is that they do. The next thing that you want to do, to start getting their minds thinking about the importance of life and selecting a husband and why a husband and children might be the most important thing or make them happy, is you have to explain to them, and this is true, this is not my opinion, you have to explain to them that the most important thing in life is other human beings. And I've gone over this, I think, in Enjoy the Decline and Bachelor Pad Economics, which I don't want to have you go by just to read that one segment. But the number one important thing in life is other humans. It doesn't matter how awesome video games are, how awesome our cars become, what the technology is, the most advanced, truly chaotic and dynamic thing out there, the most interesting thing is another human's mind. And that is how you can fall in love with a human, but not a Ferrari. It's how you can fall in love with your husband, but not a video game. And if you explain to your children that it is loved ones, family and friends, people you care about, that are the most important things in life, that will teach them, among many other things, why they should start considering husband and children. Because presumably, this is how it's worked in 2 million years of human evolution, the thing that was most important to other people's lives was their spouse and their children. And not to say that your family and friends weren't important, but that's part of you, your children. They're genetically half of you each. You made them together, and you presumably love that other person. That's probably the most important person. And if you explain that there's this whole thing called love, and it's beyond friendship love or familial love, but passionate, pure love, that you will find in their spouse, their husbands. Or wives. You don't know what team they're going to bat for yet. You said they're preteens. Who knows? I'm just saying. And then that the children are also the most important thing, and you get to spend time with them, see them grow up, and all that other stuff. So if you put that into context and say, look, money really doesn't matter. You need some money, but it isn't the most important thing. It's not your career. It's not your education. It's other people. And that is what's really going to bring you happiness. Not only will they appreciate the friends more, the family more, but that will say, the most important thing in my happiness in life is going to be my spouse that I pick, because it then determines what kind of kids we have. And then that will give them at least the overall game plan and the wisdom to start thinking about it and strategizing besides, well, they just said on the TV to spread my legs and fuck the football team guy or whatever. So that explains it. Now, you also have to explain that this is not them going to Walmart and just picking out a husband. Like, I'll have some of this, I'll have some of this, I'll have some of that. You have to, it's a two-way street. It's an exchange. You're asking men to give up part of their lives, most of their lives, in exchange for you to give up your lives to spend time with each other. And so if you want to attract the most quality males out there, you have to think what they want. So I'm going to go through a list of things that men want. Do not be fat! Number 1. Number 2, do not be fat! And number 3, do not be fatty! Okay? Physical beauty is the number one thing to men, okay? And it's required, just like a heart is required, but won't keep the body alive, right? But you need a heart. There's no debate. There's no, I need it. No. You need a heart, you need a brain, you need lungs, and some other things. I don't know what exactly all goes into supporting a life, but I know you need a heart, all right? Looks are the number one thing, all right? So that's like having a brain. But it won't survive without others. You need a heart, which means personality and all these other things I'm going to go through. But the number one thing, and the reason it's number one, is because sexual attraction is the number one thing to men. It is the number one thing that we can immediately identify without. It's the number one thing we're going to identify. It's the first thing we're going to identify about you, because it's the only thing that can be identified, is whether your ass fits into this and whether we want to fuck you. That is the number one thing. And so if you want to get more people to be attracted to you, they have to be physically attracted. Don't get fat. Stay in shape. Grow your hair out long. Don't dress slutty. Dress pretty. Dress beautifully. I talked about this 60-year-old woman that I saw was just like flabbergasted because she had put herself together and wasn't one of these, well, I'm 60 and I'm past menopause. I'm just chopping it off because it's just easier, Filbert. She maintained her beauty, and that guy's a lucky guy to have her. So that's the one, be physically beautiful. The next thing to teach them is that their beauty will go away, and that is their number one asset. That is their bargaining chip. If they hit 35, it's pretty much over, and the men are going to start looking at women younger than them. And 35, you'd have to be in pretty damn good shape and a pretty damn good-looking woman to start, thinking you're going to get a guy to start proposing. So while they are young and beautiful, if they want to have a family, they ought to think about, okay, I want to find a guy. I don't want to get my triple doctorate masters and then maybe rush to be spitting out kids and worry about getting Down syndrome because I'm 42 and I finally was ready. So you got to think what you want, family and whatnot. But in order to get a husband, in order to start a family, you need to attract a man. And if you want the highest quality man, your beauty is an absolute must. And not only that, but your beauty will go away. And society will bend over backwards. Have them watch any of my videos on The Wall. Okay? The Wall. W-A-L-L. And they're going to have the world throwing themselves at right now. They're going to have a bunch of boys doing anything they can, slaying themselves on the playground, bringing them, I don't know, things, flour, whatever. And this will continue until they're about 30, 35, depending on how well they keep their looks. And then it will start to drift away, if not rapidly drift away. And they will have been brought up under this fabricated, false, shielded environment where they think, well, everybody loves me. My God, they aren't even aware of it. It's just, well, this happens. Men pay for things, right? You explain that's only because guys want to fuck them because they're young and beautiful, right? Now, guys will stick around if you have some other qualities and traits, but right now it's because they have beauty. And beauty is the most powerful force in the universe that women will ever control. And if they squander it because they're sleeping with a bunch of different guys and they think it's going to last forever, well, I'm not going to be ready to settle down until at least I'm 45, it will be over. They will not find a quality guy without being good looking. Period. End of discussion. There's nothing else to be said about it. Now, the next thing. Do not be a single mom. Okay, number 2. Don't be a single mom. Right there. Do not be a single mom. You can still be good looking, but if you got some other guy's little bastard spawn running around, fucking Christ, take 2 full points off of your beauty looks on a scale of 1 to 10. And seriously, no quality man I know is going to settle for a single mom. None. I got a guy, Chris Beckloff, look him up. Good Christian guy, He ain't the greatest catch in the world. He's overweight. He acknowledges it. He refuses to date a single mom. And quality guy. Desperate man, low quality guys, they might. Medium quality guys, they might. High quality guys, yeah, they might fuck you, but they're not going to settle with you. They're not going to marry you. So you tell them about birth control, you tell them about abortion, you tell them about adoption, okay? The other thing, and this is so those are like the two main things. Next thing, do not be crazy. Do not be a psycho cunt, okay? I don't know what, where, why, how, it just happens. I can't believe how many times, because there's 3 or 4 times, maybe even 5, I dealt with what was nothing more than a temper tantrum thrown by women under the age of 25. Now, they were adults, they were 18, but these girls were screaming, throwing a temper tantrum. One time, because everyone knows the story, because I didn't offer to buy the girl a soda. another girl because she did something wrong and she didn't, because I didn't know what it was. I'm not going to tell you. Throwing shit. That bullshit ends. And what's funny is, after 25, it never happens because men actually they get enough self-respect and stability. They don't care how good looking the pussy is. They're not going to tolerate a psycho cunt on the interstate driving at 75 miles an hour. So I don't know if they pick it up in the reality TV shows. I always thought in my generation it came from 90210. I don't know, because it's bitch, whore, slut, witch, bitch, whore. I don't know where, and I don't care where it comes from. And any quality guy with a future and prospect is not going to tolerate insanity. So no, I have bipolar, I have autism, I have the ADHDs, I got this bullshit made up to the disability. No, your daughters sound like they're fucking sane. You're going to hold them fucking sane levels. All right? Number 4, support yourselves. When you are pregnant, okay, fine, there's that. The guy might come in. But today, with the taxes we got to pay, we're not going back to June and Ward Cleaver. There is no one salary, one income household, single income household. Women have voted to have predominantly women, men have voted Democrat too, but predominantly women have voted in the government to take over more and more roles of the parenting and the raising and the mothering, which increases our taxes, which now means both parents have to work. So they have to have a good career on top of the men, especially if they're going to have children. This means no majoring in fucking child psychology with only a bachelor's. No fucking women's studies. No fucking liberal arts. No philosophy. No communications. No fucking English. No bullshit degrees. If you want further detail on what degrees, go ahead, look up my book, Worthless. Maybe get them for Christmas. But you make sure they go into accounting, engineering, STEM, computer networking, computer programming, IT, the trades, some fucking thing or another. They got to go and get a real job, okay? So there's that. 5, no debt. No debt. Men, this is what I also recommend. A lot of men will not refuse to marry a single mom. A lot of men, I also recommend you don't marry a girl if she has student loans. Not only student loans, no credit card loans either. Do not have them be a financial liability. They should have their shit together. They should have a goddamn job. They should have their student loans paid off or being paid off relatively quick, so that when they present themselves to high quality men, the men aren't saying, is like her old man going to give me a dowry to take on this financial liability? Because this doesn't seem like 800 AD. This doesn't seem like the 1100s. I don't normally. No, I don't want your daughter with her master's in fucking English and $100,000 in debt. So they have jobs. They are not blowing their money on bullshit. They have a budget. They're contributing to a 401k or IRA, or they're paying off debt. We're not bailing you out, okay? They're not banksters. They're not student loans that are going to get bailed out by the government, okay? And the government being the new husband. So you want them not to be a legal risk as well. And then there's also to be interesting cultured women. I'm not saying they have to be auto mechanics and know a lot about cars and watch all the Bruce Willis movies. It's not going to hurt. But that they are cultured beyond watching the Kardashians. That they do stand out from women of their age. And that's not really hard to do. They, read philosophy. They don't study, they don't take classes in it, but maybe they do study philosophy. They read the classics. They have hobbies. They have interests. It doesn't have to be of interest to the men, but it's just something that stands out. Oh my God, I took tap and ballet in high school? Oh, fucking wow. Like you and every other fucking girl. But oh yeah, I learned how to program. That was kind of cool. I did that in high school. Or here's another one they can do, especially at their age. They can start taking classes at the local community college and knock out their prereqs. That's going to be something a little bit different. I don't know. It's whatever they personally would like to do that will determine their uniqueness and interest. But for God's sake, have them do something other than what the typical 13, 14, all the way up to 30-year-old woman does. Oh my God, did you watch Sex and the City? No roundhouse kicking chick cop shows, okay? None of that for them. So that is, you do that and, kind of keep an eye out for good-looking men. That's you're more or less delivering what more men could ever ask for. Because frankly, we're dealing with shit. Now 6. How do they identify quality men? So they are going to train themselves, build themselves into becoming something great. then they should demand something great in return. They're not going to go and hit the gym and stay pretty and become these cultured, refined young women and go after Mortimer Schmutz with his fucking welfare and single child and child support from 5 different families. That's not what you want. So, how can you identify quality men? Well, here it's hard because I really don't look for quality men. So these are just the things that came up. First, you want to get them into the mindset of what is a quality man. And since they're so far and few between nowadays, I recommend going to the old movies. Have them watch some Cary Grant flicks, John Wayne, Jimmy Stewart. Jimmy Stewart alone. Well, geez, oh my goodness. Well, I'm going to work real hard. I mean, and have them read about Jimmy Stewart. There's a real fucking man. That guy was not only an actor, but he ended up volunteering for the U.S. Air Corps in World War II, became a brigadier general, never told anyone about it. It says, nope, you can't use me, I'm just going to do it. So I have him study these classics. Walter Matthau is also kind of a guy, he's not good looking, but he's very charming. So I have him look at these traditional male role models who actually were traditional, real men, real guys. William Holden, have him watch those movies, Gregory Peck. So they get an idea what real manliness is. Also, have them consider dating military. Like when you hear a guy who's in the military, that's kind of it's a plus right there. But then the stuff that they should be looking for in a guy is stuff that men should be looking for in them. Financial stability. Does he have a job? Does he have a ton of debt? Does he have student loans? Does he, now this is going to be more guys, does he have a McMansion he can't afford or a fancy fucking sports car he's leasing in? They got to know the difference between lease and own. Alright, so tell him not to be taken in by all the glitz and the glamour. Hell, you want to see what this guy's credit score looks like. No credit card debt, that kind of thing. So, the same financial rule applies there. No worthless degrees. You want them to be marrying engineers, accountants, doctors, captains in the military, privates in the military, good men with good futures who obviously put some thought and effort into their career and aren't just fucking around. And no dude bros, none of these guys who say they're in sales, okay? No guys in sales who are 25 driving brand new BMWs, okay? That's just a little tidbit because it's all fake. What else? Oh, the stability of their family. Where's the dad? Where's the mom? Were they brought up in her single motherhood? Oh, fuck. Well, they're going to be pretty much pussies, all right? They are, so you want to see where dad is. That was the number one variable. The highest correlation I've ever had in the many, many, many girls I've dated is if the dad was around and the girl had a good relationship with the dad, she was good. And then I'd fuck it up. What else? So finance, degrees. Oh, I would also say politics. This is not necessarily a guarantee, but again, a correlation. You typically want them dating conservative or libertarian type guys. At least men who we have fucking guns. We think long-term planning. We appreciate freedom. We don't ask that question, well, why can't we just print out more money? The government should pay for it. Guys who actually can throw a left hook and will defend their wife and children. This isn't to say there aren't some manly Democrat men out there, but there aren't any manly Democrat men out there. Don't watch, I'll get a threat. Oh, kick your ass. All right. I'm not saying, they find the love of their life and he happens to be a hard old school Union Democrat. That's cool. But typically, I'm not saying go to the Republican Party either, but a guy who kind of maybe has the U.S. flag in the back of his car, or maybe go to a gun range. Hey, there's a great, right there. Have them learn how to shoot guns. That's a good idea. I wish I came up with it. And then also ballroom dancing. I recommend all girls learn how to ballroom dance because it's just a higher element of class. You can't just boom, kick-a-boom, kick-a-boom. You have to learn. It's a skill, so it screens people out. And men who know how to lead typically are a little bit more manly. They'll also learn if they're trying to lead, which means they're not following, and that's not good. It learns them how to have the captain first officer relationship. Although it can happen, this isn't always the guarantee. It can happen where maybe one of your daughters is just way more dominant than and finds a loving guy who's okay being first officer. But usually women are the first officer and men are the captain. And to get that established in a fun way, not that it should be brainwashed, it should be forced, but to teach women that every once in a while, if you shut your fucking yap and do what the guy says, something beautiful might happen, like you executing this amazing tango, for instance. So, Maybe the fucking guy is right. Now shut your yap and do this turn. I used to teach dance. If you didn't know, I was a ballroom dancer. So anyway, that's a great thing. So that's how they're gonna find quality men. The final thing, if you want to scare these girls straight, so that they can see what happens with feminism, where feminism leads, where replacing men with a government check leads, all you have to do is show them the black community. Take them to the local ghetto. I don't care if that's politically incorrect. It's true. Go, and you don't even have to go to the ghetto. Go online and look up, you know what's fun? Black women fighting over boyfriend. Do a YouTube search of that. I used to work downtown security, and Hip Hop Night would let out. And honest to God, the worst fights we'd see had nothing to do. The guys were all right. You could usually talk, hey, what are you doing? Come on. Like, oh, yeah, dude. And sure, they'd be the kid. But, man, if it wasn't every fucking night, there'd be two gals going at it, fighting over there, man. The fucking do-rags, or not do-rags, what do they call it? What do they put on their head? The wigs, or what are the extensions? They came flying on, and bitch, yeah. It's like, whoa. You get a show after the show. But yeah, show them the welfare line, take them down to the welfare line, take them down to the unemployment line, take them to the ghetto, drive past the bus stops, and look, okay? Look, and then point out all the children with their single moms. Go to a Walmart. Well, yeah, you know what? Do this. Go to a Walmart or a Target nearby the bad part of town at about 11 p.m. and see how many kids are running around with their mom, you know, like 3 years old, running around in their diaper or something like that. If you don't live near a black community, okay, go to the local trailer park community. Go to the local Walmart in Casper, Wyoming. Go to where men have been kicked out of society, kicked out of the family, and replaced with a government check. Most common place you can find that is the black community, but you can always find it among all the different races. Just if you live in a major city, there's usually a black part of town, and usually it's the ghetto. And that will scare them straight. Because like right now, if you were in St. Paul, I know exactly where I'd have you go. I'd have you go down to the homeless shelter, or it's not a homeless shelter, what is it? But you see, it's like, okay, there you go. This is what happens when you like get knocked up pregnant, all right? You could be a bag lady fucking waiting for your government check, all right? And that'll scare them straight. That will. So anyway, that's the best I can give you. There may be something else. Hopefully some of my readers and followers will put some recommendations down below. I think you're doing good because you're already telling them. I would just kind of focus more on the concept their beauty is limited. It's their number one chips they're going to have to cash in. Good financial planning. Boy, that's a rare one, even with women who are, you know, kind of have their act together. It's just like, Jesus Christ, you broads and your fucking credit cards. A STEM, that's another rare one. Boy, I mean, you girls would, I mean, they could go military too, but if your girls could stay at it, that be financially solvent, have a good career in a STEM-like field, and be pretty, fuck it, they're going to write their ticket. But then also, choose the right guy. Don't go for slick-talking Bill who's got a fancy car that he rents just because you didn't know the difference between a rent and own, and now you're pregnant with his kid because he didn't use a thing. Now you got syphilis. Or, is that yeah, syphilis is sexual. Whatever. So, teach them all that, but if you really want to scare the life into them, take them to the ghetto, take them to the trailer park, and say, here's what happens to single moms. Here's what happens when fathers aren't in your communities. And that hopefully scare them straight. So, anyway, best of luck. Toodles.